So zoom in, zoom out. So yeah, that's where we want, right in the center of our screen. Hello there, and welcome back. I'm going to talk about zooming in and zooming out, just being able to get in and see your game a little bit better. I know sometimes I like to be able to see things better, and even whether it's just doing full screen is not, you may want to zoom in to something, see something in the screen. Just makes for a nice little feature. So we're going to talk about that. So normally you can't. You've created one in your object in your room. You have your view, and you have the size of your view, and then the port, so it's being shown on the screen, and then the ratio, so you can actually just see where everything is going to be. So what we're going to do is add a zoom feature. So in our object controller, since this is just going to be one object per room, we're going to set do a create event. And here's where we're going to specify our different zoom features. So we're going to say I guess we'll call it the zoom level. We'll start out with 0 because that's how the arrays, when we work with arrays in here, that's how they start out. So so we're going to say view width the 0 and view height equals 0. We're also going to create a max zoom level, which will be we'll create 3 different things. So we're going to go back to our room real quick. At 100%, our width is 420, so we're going to go grab that. And our height is 270, so we're going to go grab that. So what we're going to do is create 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So really there's no zoom and then 3 levels of zoom is what it works out to be. So what we're going to do, as you see, they're all the same, but we're going to create different levels. So we're going to, and then when it's 1, we're going to say it's 90% zoomed, and you can change these to whatever your preference is and how many or how far you want to zoom into. As long as, oops, we're going to change that to 7. As long as you make sure, at least for pixelated, I mean the other might start getting blurry if you're using that interpolate setting over in the global settings and the graphics. If you're using this, it'll probably get really fuzzy. But for this case, I think it works out pretty nice. So what we've done is create these zooms. We're going to create a new script. I'm going to call it set zoom. And we're going to say our view, our height of our view, since we only have one view. And you probably need to adjust this if you're going to use multiple views. I'm not really, don't really do that at this point. We're going to set it to, first thing we're going to do is we're going to assume where we've changed the level. And what we want to do is make sure our zoom level is within our bounds of our array. So we're going to clamp it, give it our zoom level, and then say we can only have those. Or we'll change it to object controller. Next. Zoom. Okay, so I'm doing it this way because I'm going to assume if you're going to run the script, you're going to all your code's on an object controller, so you're going to know that it's there. we're never going to let it be below 0, and we're going to say instead of having to come and change multiple places of locations, you can just go in here and change this number and add an additional pair, and you'll get one location to change everything. So that'll help out a lot. We're going to change this set zoom levels. Okay, so we're going to clamp it, and we're going to say, we need to go back and double check what our Okay, so we've determined we're constraining our zoom level to 0 to our max level, and then we're going to set the value to whatever it is. So here we're going back to our object controller that we're already working on. We're going to add some functions. I'm going to assign it to the page up and page down function. So page up, page down. We're going to say zoom in. So we're going to say zoom level is +1, and then we're going to call our script, which is set the zoom. So we're really just making these buttons just do two things. One, up and down, increment which direction we're going, and set the zoom. Most of our code is here as far as, okay, we're constraining it to the number of views we already have. That way, this should work. So let's go ahead and try it. I think let's go back to there. That's going faster than I want it to. Yeah, because I just said keyboard. Let's do key press. That way you can control it up and down once at a time. Page up. Yeah, there we go. Press. Page down. We're going to steal those. Get rid of those old ones. So yeah, what I did was if that other event gets executed as long as you're holding down the button, so it'll constantly get pressed. So we're going to say, oh, we can now go in and look at what we were zoom out, zoom in. Just get a little bit better of a zoom. So that way, next time you go in here and say, oh, well, I want to be even closer, be able to look in closer, you can go in here, change it to 4. Well, that's actually why not? Let's add 5. You only have to go in and change one location for your code instead of having to go a bunch of places. So yeah, we're way closer now. He's so large. And then we can back up. So there you go. Zoom in, zoom function. Alright, so one of the things we want to do with the zoom level is be able to, when we currently press the button, it kind of goes off, and we're not actually zooming into the same place all the time. So that's kind of not really a desirable effect that we want to see. We want to make sure that when we zoom in and zoom out, we're actually zooming in to the center of the screen. So what we're going to do is add some additional variables and movement to get that accomplished. One of the things we've done is create this object sprite, object spot. So what we're going to do is when we create it, we're going to just put it in the center so we can see what's going on. And all this object is a sprite, 15 by 15, centered, and it's just two lines across each other, and we made a generic object to look at it. So now I set it to the middle of the screen. Look, as you can see, it veers off to the side. So what we're going to do is get this fixed. So every time we zoom in, we're going to do it as part of this width. (270 times 0.1), and we're only going to move it half of that, and then we're going to take half of that, and we're going to figure out if we're going in or out. So I added some events for page in, page out. We're going to create this as zoom in and add it to the different directions, and a zoom in, make it false. So we're either zooming in or we're zooming out. And what we're going to do is check this. Okay, so we're only going to modify our resolution when we press the button if we're moving it to a valid value. So normally if we would be taking, this would be like if we were at 0, it'd be coming into this procedure as -1, or if we were at the max value, it'd go above. So we don't want that to happen. So we're only going to do something, perform this zoom in and zoom out if we're within our zoom range. We're going to create a new value. Okay, so we are going to move our views window by the offset. And if everything went right, this should work. Yeah, so there, well, have to look at that going back. Alright, that's why, oh, -1. Let's multiply that when we go back out. So zoom in, zoom out. So yeah, that's where we want, right in the center of our screen. So there you have it, zooming in and zooming out. Good luck coding. Till next time.